Good morning, y'all. Good morning, good morning, good morning to everyone that is coming in. As you guys are coming in, go ahead and tell God thank you and tell me one thing that you are grateful for. Excuse the congestion. So, if you guys hear me sniffing or sounding a little bit stopped up, I am currently recovering from, I'm thinking to be a common cold. As always, if you're catching this on the replay, go ahead and hashtag replay crew. I've been enjoying seeing, those of you guys comment, whether it's a day later, whether it's hours later. And so I am loving that engagement. One thing that I will say that I'm grateful for on today is peace. I feel like for me, I've been in a place where peace has just been hard to come by. I don't know if anybody else feels that way, but like the past few weeks, really the past few months, it's been like, Lord, peace has been scarce as things that I've been believing God for. And so today I woke up and I felt a sense of peace. And so I'm very much so grateful for that, amongst a whole lot of other things. And so as always, go ahead and tell God thank you. Tell us what you're grateful for. Please be sure that you guys are smashing that thumbs up button. It helps the algorithm here on YouTube, and it helps more people find us here on YouTube. Excuse me. Welcome to another edition of Daily Manna with T. As you guys can see, the title of today's word is Moving Forward with Grace. I'm going to say it again. The title of today's, I know that's right, Visha, grateful for God's grace and restoration of your heart. My God. Lord, please just let me make it through this just through this one. My nose has been so stopped up, y'all, it don't make no sense. But as you guys can see, the title is Moving Forward with Grace. Today has been one of those days where, apart from feeling peace, it's just been like looking at like my situation, looking at things around me, and feeling like and knowing that things are on the up and up. And I'm gonna just say this because I feel like a lot of times we don't give God the credit for the moments where we can look at our life and we can perceive some of the things that have happened, and we can see like, man, things are about to work out in a way that, I might not struggle in this area, or I may, I may, be better off in this area. And so I feel like today for me, hold on one second, y'all. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. Sorry about that, y'all. Sorry about that, you guys. I know. I know. But I feel like a lot of times we discredit God for the moments where, after a tough season, where we can look at our life and we may not tangibly see the evidence of things being better, but there are some moments where we can look and we can put together the revelations or some of the key things that have been happening, and you can put two and two together, and you like, wow, I can get a clear vision of what is. And I feel like for not just me, but for many of us, we've been in a place where, where maybe we've looked at our lives or looked at certain situations that are happening in our lives and felt doom and gloom. I feel that for many of us, God is giving us on a deeper level, but at the same time of giving us understanding on a deeper level, I really believe that many people are about to start moving in a way that is so very peculiar but yet specific. And from that, it's going to be like, wow, now I can kind of see what's about to happen. I'll share, for instance, one of the things that I've been overly concerned about, like living in the country and having to maintain pastures, and you have to keep animals, to keep life, excuse me, at a minimum. And one of the things I've been overly concerned about is how, God, on top of everything else, how am I going to do all of these things and upkeep around the house and do all things? And so last night, it didn't just start last night, but the past few days, this entire week, it's been such strategic movements from God. And I'm gonna just say this: just be just because God moved, well, I'm gonna say it like this: God's movement doesn't necessarily mean the manifestation of what you're believing God for. I'm going to say that again. God moving in your life doesn't necessarily mean that it is the manifestation of what you are believing God for. I feel like there are so many moments where we don't see what God is doing because it doesn't look like the thing that we're expecting. But I can truly look at this week and I'm like, wow, God has been moving and really met what I'm believing God for. But I can look and see that God is being strategic about the things happening in my life. And apart from him being strategic, I can see how these things are putting me in a position to where I'm not going to be stressed, to where I can see forward movement, to where I can see light at the end of the tunnel. Like this morning I woke up and God was dealing with me about like moving forward with grace, and the word that he gave me was this. He says, after every single stormy season, there is always light at the end of the tunnel. Yeah. I'm going to say it again. After every single stormy season, there is always light at the end of the tunnel. The thing that he showed me, like vision wise, was I don't know if y'all have ever like noticed storm super duper 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 bad. I mean, whether it's a tornado, whether it's a hurricane, and like storms bring darkness. Give me some fire emojis if you get what I'm saying. Excuse me. Storms bring darkness. And after the storm is gone, I don't know if you guys have ever like seen those moments where you see a glimmer of sun. It may not be full blown sunlight, but you can look up in the sky and you can see a little bit of light. The Lord that moving forward with grace is about that light at the end of the tunnel beginning to like shine through. For many of us, God is giving us understanding on why certain cycles have been around, or in our lives for as long as they have. And for some of us, God is breaking down fears and everything else on a deeper level so that we can move forward with ease. When you break down what it means to move forward with grace, it means to move forward with ease. So in short, everything that has been happening, the uncomfortable moments, the uncomfortable situations that many of us have been going through have been a part of God's plan to ensure that in this next phase of this season of this month, that we are able to move forward with an ease that even to us feels foreign. And that was one of the things that I was telling God, like this week, all of the things that have been lined up, just following him, breaking down the barriers of fear, breaking down the barriers of different cycles, and getting to the root of different things, within my own heart, that it has put me in a position to where it's like, wow, now, in areas where I'm like, man, I'm stressed out of this. And all of a sudden going from that to saying, man, there is a glimmer of hope. There is a glimmer of light. And so I say all of that to say storms don't last forever. I'm going to say it again. Storms don't last forever. And I feel like that is the message that God is giving to many of us. For many of us, it wasn't a storm sent to destroy us, but it was a storm that was to clear the way so that our entry into this new thing that God is doing, our entry into the next phase of life, our entry into the next season, so that it would be one that is like smooth sailing. I've told this story on so many different occasions. And when I was in my wilderness, I had a dog named Bella. You guys that have been following me on YouTube or following Periscope days, you guys know Bella passed away. But when Bella was a puppy, she was trained off of the leash. Like I had her to where like I could just let Bella roam and she would be cool. Sweetie, on the other hand, complete track star. I didn't start letting Sweetie off the leash until she got old, until she got too old to run. And then I was like, okay, I know if you run, I can catch. But the younger Sweetie, oh no, you'll be running for days trying to catch her. But when Bella was little, I would do this thing where, especially when we were about to go for CAR, RIDES. I gotta spell it out so I don't excite my puppies. But she loved them. And so whenever I was getting ready to go, like I would hype her up and be like, Mama, you ready? Like, are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? And she would get so excited and I would lead her to the door and I would tell her, sit down. She was sitting down. I would shut the front door. I didn't let her out. but I would go and I would prepare the way. And the reason why I would go and prepare the way, which meant like opening the car door, putting up the what do you call it, Lord? The doggy, like, it ain't, it's, I guess it's like it's not a seat belt, but it's like a little thing so that you don't get hair on your seats. Like, these were the things that I was doing, preparing the way. And sometimes I would see Bella looking out the blinds of my mom's living room, and sometimes she was sitting right there. The moral is that many of us have felt just like Bella did. We felt like God has led us to a point, and he's just, and it's just like, okay, God, things are stagnant. It seems like I'm waiting forever and a day, and while I'm waiting, I'm having to face fear. I'm having to go through this. I'm having to go through this. And many of us have started to feel kind of weary. On top of feeling weary, many of us have started to feel like, man, God isn't present. And so what God is doing for many of us is preparing the way so that when the door opens, so that when the holding pattern is released, we can flow smoothly into what he has for us. And so that was really, what God gave me today. Like, get ready to be in a position where in every area where I'll say where you've been stuck or where things have been stagnant, get ready to like experience God, moving you forward, or you moving forward throughout seasons, throughout situations with ease. It's about to get a whole lot better. And so this has been your word. Can you do me a favor and tell God thank you? Hold on one more time, y'all. My nose. Hold on. Sorry about all of this, having to step off camera, y'all. But if this was your word, just go ahead and tell God thank you. To those of you guys that feel led to sow, you can sow whatever you feel led to sow. The moderators are about to put where you can sow. It's always in the description of every single video. To those of you guys that want to join our June raffle, it is $5 per entry, and I'll be giving away a $100 Visa gift card, or a gift card to the store of your choosing, to the person that wins it. We will be pulling this raffle on TikTok on June 30th. So if you're entering in, be sure that you put your TikTok name or your YouTube name so that I know how to contact you if you have indeed won. And so that is it. I'm about to shift over to TikTok. I love y'all. I'm rooting for y'all. And so until next time, y'all, peace. It's about to get a whole lot better.